Welcome to our Tuesday morning Mind the Moment gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. And this is a place, as you know, where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am delighted to be here with Zeenat Potia, longtime meditator and one of Harvard Pilgrim's wonderful mindfulness instructors. Good morning, Zeenat.
Good morning, Suzanne, and hello, everyone.
Yes, nice to have you here this morning with us and to have everyone joining. So today Zeenat will start us off with a question for the group to wake us up this morning, and she'll lead us in a guided practice and share some thoughts with us. And after that, we'll have time for questions. So if you can go to the bottom of your screen and click on the chat, that will open up the chat box. And if you're looking to see the questions and comments that are coming in real time, just click down the drop-down menu that says panelists and attendees. You can choose that, and that will show you all the comments coming in as they come in. Okay, so that's about it for all the business details. And what question would you like to start us off with today, Zeenat?
I would like to invite folks to contemplate and to share a favorite memory or a place that you like to go to where you can engage with nature. And so, just taking a moment or two, you could even close your eyes, and I invite you to really make this a somatic practice. So a practice of looking inward, where you connect to a place where there is a sense of ease and joy and connectedness in the natural world. And you don't have to go into the deep woods. It could be a honeysuckle bush on your neighborhood street, anything at all. And also inviting you to read along in the chat, and I'll share the offerings that are coming in and we can take them in. It's kind of like a mini vacation that we're taking together. So we have the beach, the ocean, Popham Beach in Maine. Wonderful.
Yeah, I have a local forest that I go to that is just a little bit of a haven in the middle of the area.
Havens, that's such a wonderful way to say that, Suzanne. Ogunquit Beach in Maine, where I camp in the mountains, the trail behind my house. Growing butternut squash for the first time, did not realize how beautiful the plant is. Big wide leaves. Oak Island in Lake of the Woods. Oh, beautiful. I love the quality of observing that each of these shares has. There is a sense of wonder. Our Causa dogwood. And the ones that are closer to home are particularly endearing because it's in plain sight, It's so easy to overlook the beauty that surrounds us in our day-to-day. And then it's wonderful to have a place that we can go to, that we feel a sense of connectedness or home in. So I'd like to just hummingbirds, lovely, floating on the beach in Jamaica. Song of house wrens nesting on front porch. And so a lot of these are employing the senses, hearing, seeing, being with. And I'm also hearing in the shares, there is less of a separation. There's less of an objectification of nature's out there, it's that, and here is me. And so this practice of feeling connected in the natural world has enormous benefits, and you know so many of them. But from a mindfulness perspective, what it does is that it softens our self-density. You know, what do I mean by self-density? I mean that tightness in body and mind of, you know, this is me or mine, these are my opinions, this is what I like and don't like, and everything else is out there where you're the focus, you're the star of the show. And nature has this ability to soften that, to thin that, where we feel less separate and more a part of. And this has all kinds of benefits. So let's transition to practice on, and the last share that came in is waterfalls. It's a wonderful transition to come into stillness and contemplation. So just finding a comfortable posture. If you're seated, then upright, you know, allowing the spine to be upright. You could even take both hands and help the shoulders come down a little bit. And really good to begin this practice by relaxing. And this is not a random instruction. It comes from 2,700 years of lineage, that when we're able to deeply relax the body and relax psychically is when we can, it allows us to go deeper and to access awareness. You may close the eyes if you're comfortable doing that, or just having a soft gaze. So grounding in your seat, grounding with the feet on the floor, connecting to the earth, connecting to the energetic quality that's always here. There's a vibratory quality that we can tap into. And it's not, this is not new age or mumbo jumbo stuff. It's real. There is a collectedness. We inhabit a rocky planet that has gravity. It holds us, it supports us. And it's a life-giving planet, a watery home that we inhabit, both in our bodies, which are majority water, and then our home, our planet, is majority water. So being very fluid in practice today. Letting go of any tightness, constrictions, forcing or pushing. Many of us do that all day long. And so giving yourself permission, allowing the heart, mind, the body to be very relaxed and fluid and present. Our human psychobiology is hardwired to seek out certainty, to find answers, to have knowledge. This is our survival imperative. But for most of us, it's overdeveloped to the point where we don't like uncertainty. It makes us intensely uncomfortable. There's a rawness there. We have to know, when is this pandemic finally going to be gone? Will I have enough money for retirement? How are my kids going to do in school? We seek out answers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we sacrifice the possibility of joy, of being with the difficult in the present moment in favor of going for some kind of imagined certainty, we also screen out wonder. And nature can help us access that again. And so I offer a theme for today, which is allowing yourself, relaxing the body, continuing to soften, and allowing yourself a few moments of opening to don't know mind, to wonder. Right here and right now. You notice the licks of anxiety, of agitation, of worry, of rumination arising, big or subtle. Just pausing and opening to wonder, to curiosity, to warmth, holding don't know mind with care, with compassion, with openness. If the mind is elsewhere, reconnecting with the body is our friend. It can be an ally in cultivating, sustaining present moment awareness. Where is there contraction or expansion in the body? Exploring, recognizing that the body, our bodies, our human form, is part of nature, not separate from. And the more we can honor and respect that, there's more freedom, there's less self-density. And so we're in the heart of our practice. So simply beginning again, if you're struggling with cultivating focus, and if you're in it, opening to the possibility of joy and wonder in this moment, in this breath, in a sound. It doesn't even have to be bird sound. I can hear the hum of a refrigerator in my kitchen. And I can bring the eyes of wonder to whatever arises and passes away, moment to moment. reconnecting to the inner rhythms and the outer rhythms, and softening into, so we can listen, we can connect when they sync. They don't always. In a moment or so, you'll hear the sound of a bell, and I encourage you to practice with the sound until you don't hear it anymore. Okay. Thank you for your practice and taking your time as you transition and come out, gently opening the eyes, letting them look away from the screen, taking in shapes and colors around your space, maybe doing a few stretches if that feels good, taking deeper breaths. So good to honor the transitions in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zeenat.
So I'd like to hear from you if there is any questions you have related to practice or comments or reflections. And I also wanted to, and please feel free to share in the chat, I wanted to mention Rick Hansen, who some of you may know his work. He's a wonderfully well-known neuroscientist and has done a lot of work on the effect of mindfulness on the brain and how to lay down new neural pathways. He talks about how when we're in nature, our perspective automatically widens. And the opposite happens when we're triggered by challenging mental or emotional states. You know this, when you get very afraid or angry, you literally get tunnel vision. And the research shows this. We get locked, we kind of go like this. But nature, and we hear about the big skies out west and the expanse of the ocean here, right here for many of us if you're in the Northeast at home. But that same broadening of perspective can also be found in the leaves of a butternut squash plant, as some of you have said. And so it has that ability. It also encourages us to look up. If we're kind of, very down, literally, emotionally, and actually down, nature encourages us, it calls us to look up and to receive. It has so many gifts and asks so little of us, and yet the human impulse is to exploit and extract, but it just gives and gives and gives. So to recognize that.
I love the connection that you shared earlier about the fact that we're all part of the natural world, and that we don't have to go far to connect with that part of our nature. And it can awaken us to a lot of different wider perspectives about everything in life. So I really like that connection, that it's not something that we need to travel to. It's right here. And it could be a plant, it could be a plant in our house. We don't even need to go outside. So wonderful thoughts and reflections on that.
I'm glad that resonated, Suzanne. And Jeannie is sharing the value of the don't know mindset is great indeed. And it's something that we all forget. So it's so good to remind ourselves, because when we're in it, when we're caught or hijacked by the challenging mental and emotional states, then it's so easy to forget, and it's so easy, our biological imperative kind of digs its heels in, and I must know this. I have to. It's like a desperate need. So to just recognize that tension, and self-compassion practices, loving kindness practices can be very useful in learning how to soothe and resource ourselves, so we can work with those fires of agitation instead of trying to numb them out or escape them. And to know what is that edge where we can be open. It's also known as a flash of openness. That's a flash of openness, of uncertainty, of don't know mind. Sarah is sharing, I find watching the sunset every evening is a nice daily ritual, connecting me to nature and the expanse of the sky and ocean. It's lovely. It's lovely to have these rituals, these touchstones in our lives. And indigenous cultures here in North America, that's how they lived. It was a world of rituals, again, that the colonizers saw as problematic, and have been stereotyped in popular culture and things like that. But it was a deeply honorable way to live with, to engage with, to be connected with the land, with the world around them, with nature. They considered themselves and nature to be integrated, to be part of a whole, not separate from, and the rituals help in that. And so we can, in our modern day world, find those rituals for ourselves and make them our own. And so I'm admiring that you do that, Sarah. And Michelle is talking about the softening. It's something that we can incorporate in our moment-to-moment experience as we move through the day. The moment you notice, and it's depending on your body and your background and who you are, you may notice the body gets tight. The body is always sending us signals. The eyes, the eyes go, especially, I don't drive, but I know my partner, and I observe him because I'm in the passenger seat, and Boston driving is not the most calming exercise in the world. And I can see his eyes go, everything starts to tighten. And so this reminder to just soften, just to soften back as an empowering practice, not as a practice of weakness, and a practice of caring for and tending to, can be a useful skill to cultivate.
Mm-hmm. All very good reminders to simplify the way we're looking at the world and taking things in. And we really, really appreciate you being with us this morning, Zeenat.
Thank you, Suzanne. Why don't we, if folks feel ready, just close with a minute or so of practice?
Sounds good.
Okay. So just without too much to do, just coming back to stillness, returning to the space of quiet contemplation, a moment of relaxation again, and allowing, relaxing and allowing. And we learn and practice somatically because we're cultivating this skill, this muscle memory to relax and allow in the here and now, and in the midst of, no need to go to a mountaintop or a beautiful island, in the midst of taking out the garbage and dealing with work deadlines and a screaming child, we can relax and allow. We can soften.
Thank you, Zeenat, again. And
Thank
thank
you.
you to everyone who's joined this morning. And we look forward to seeing you again back here at 8:30 on Thursday. So hopefully you can continue to enjoy little bits of nature and bringing those moments into your day today and the next couple of days. So nice to see everyone here this morning. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Suzanne. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.